Hi there. I put this video together because I love this book, but also for real estate agents to be a little more creative. Um, Real estate agents that are anti-seller financing, real estate agents that haven't been trained in seller financing, especially new ones that have been in the business since the boom. Like for instance, if you've started this business from 2001 through 2006, you don't need to be creative. You just put a poll out there. But I've been doing this since 1986, and we had to do seller financing because interest rates were well over 10%. So let's take a look at this book, Shift by Gary Keller of Keller Williams. Whether you're a fan of Keller Williams or not, Gary Keller put together a great book. Shift, how to top real estate agents tackle tough times in paperback. And New York Times bestseller. It's just amazing book. Um, You know, a lot of people have just said this is one of the best books for agents because it gets them to think outside the box. Table of contents. These 12 tactics really help your business, especially if you're not getting enough leads. The mindset's very good. The remargin your business, expense management, do more with less, find the motivated seller, get to the table, catch people in your web. Talks a lot about internet lead conversion. Price ahead of the market. Stand out from your competition, create urgency. But one of my favorites is expand the options, creative financing, and then dealing with distressed properties. Um, and bulletproof the transaction, issues and solutions. But this expand the options, creative financing is one of the reasons why I'm putting this video together for agents, because they just don't get it. And in this book really helps them get it. So let's take a look at what this chapter is all about. Expanding the options. Affordability drives the real estate industry, and creative financing. We used to use this term in the late 70s, early 80s as far as RAPs and AITDs and contracts for deed and all sorts of tools. It's not well understood by most, and if you're an agent and you don't help that seller sell any way they can and help that buyer buy on terms also, especially with the Dodd-Frank Act and the SAFE Act, really tightening credit at the 43% debt to earnings especially, you're not doing your job. This is my opinion. You can hate me all you want, Mr. Agent, but you've got to shift your focus. In the three areas of creative financing is creative things sellers can do to sell their house. They can do seller contributions, seller-funded permanent buy-down, seller-funded temporary buy-down, owner financing, contract for deed, seller second, lease option and lease purchase, and a wraparound mortgage and assumable mortgage. What can buyers do? They can do gift funding, selling and refinancing existing assets, non-occupant co-borrowers using a 401k, temporary IRA transfer, pledge asset mortgage, equity transfer and bridge loan, employer-assisted mortgage. Now, in the seller financing realm here, we help sellers sell on terms and maximize their equity because it generally takes between 10 to 15% of the value of the house to sell, with realtor commissions, seller's concessions, closing costs, and the time that it takes to sell. If it's a vacant house, they still have to pay the PITI payment. So they still have to pay that bill. So their real net, they can preserve their equity dollars if they take a look at owner financing. And I know the Dodd-Frank and I know the SAFE Act has certain rules. But if you go through an RMLO, that will protect the seller by selling on terms. So I hope you've enjoyed this particular video about real estate agents thinking creatively. And buy this book. It'll help you. Thanks a lot.